Today's video, we're going to talk about medical spa PPC, how we did it to guarantee clients results at our advertising firm, given we provide guaranteed PPC results to all of our clients, and I'm just explaining how it's done in the med spa space specifically. I am Corey Simon, owner of Guaranteed PPC and senior strategist at the firm. I personally manage dozens of different ad accounts at any given time at our firm to get the guaranteed results that we provide to our clients, and have overall 20 years of experience running paid ads for businesses I run, as well as all of the different clients at our advertising firm. Of which, to give you the advice I'm providing you on today's video, I can tell you firsthand that we did this not once, but twice for different med spas. Count on the information I'm providing you is going to be able to work in your unique use case as well. I am going to give you everything you need to replicate these results that I'm going to provide to you and the system I'm providing to you in this video. And then by the end of the video, I'm also going to tell you how much profit you can actually generate using this system for your own company. So make sure you watch all the way through the video to get that extra information as well in terms of ROI, profit, cost per lead, and so forth for your company. So with that said, getting into the content here. First off, you're going to be able to run ads successfully very, very easily through the Google Ads and Bing Ad / Microsoft Ad platforms for yourself, as well as on and through Facebook. Right off the bat, I would recommend starting off on Google specifically. Why? Because Google has a major advantage over Facebook in that Facebook used to have really good targeting before the iOS changes and so forth. Now, Google is YouTube and all the different campaigns you can run through Google has the major advantage because you can target any sub-niche that you want. In this case, if you want somebody who's searched for a vampire facial in the recent past, you can get in front of those people that have made a search related to that in the last 30 days, and therefore get a hyper-relevant user who's already in market for what you provide, and you're just simply getting in front of them and snatching that person before somebody else can get them. That is very easy to do with your Google Ads, whereas on Facebook, you're going to have to get in front of a random person that's in the general range or demographics of a person who comes to your med spa, and then give them a really good offer that they cannot refuse, and then have a really good system to take that person who's going to come in not where it's not profitable per se, which like I'm going to talk about here, and then turn them into a profitable customer on the back end. I will talk about how that's done specifically. But like I said though, you should start out with Google because it's people who already want to do business with you and they're in market, and so you don't have to offer them an extravagant offer in order to get them to do business with you. When you interrupt somebody who's not in market for what you have, that's the time you got to offer more. And so why take a lower margin customer when you don't need to necessarily, even though you can still make profit on Facebook. So with that said, the first thing you're going to want to do right off the bat is your Google search campaigns, because that's the best of the best out of everything you can do. And of that, you're going to target keywords in 4 major categories. First of which is going to be targeting your competitors' keywords. That is, people typing in that competitor's name into Google. Second of which, you're going to target people looking for a med spa near me, so on and so forth. Third of which, you're going to target people typing in specific services that you offer, vampire facial and the like. Then finally, you're going to target people looking for how-to information. I would reserve that to last. That is, if you can't spend your total starting ad budget there, or your whatever ad budget you have at any given time, or you can't scale anymore on these first 3, you're going to go after how-to terms. How to look younger, how to get rid of wrinkles, and then cross-selling them on, basically they're looking for an answer that your services provide, and then just explaining that your service is the right solution for them at the time, and then get them in the door that way. So with that said, on the competitor campaign, to let you know the specifics on each one of these. First thing I would do with the competitor, if someone types in your competitor name, we've done this, we know this works. If they type, if it's John's Med Spa, somebody types that John's Med Spa keyword into Google, you're going to show up and say that you have a new customer special, First treatment is 50% off for new customers that switch spas, given, as you know, in this space, a lot of people are already you can expect a new customer to last a long time, assuming it's the right customer. Somebody who's searching for that competitor of yours, you want to steal them away. That's really the best customers to get because they're loyal customers of that other spot. It's not one-offs. And get customers that are worth a lot over the long run to your company. But you got to offer them something to switch because usually, if they're searching for that competitor, they weren't looking to switch. It's going to be hard to get them to switch. You offer as much as you need to get them to switch, but can justify it because you got somebody who's probably going to come in 20 more times over their lifespan. And so offering them the first visit for 50% off, if they can show their receipt proven that they already go and do business with somebody else, is the perfect way to run a campaign for that, given you can justify giving somebody a great deal up front if you know that they're going to be staying with you for a long time after that, and they normally spend a lot of money with med spas. And if you think about it, it makes perfect sense, because if you could go after somebody that you may or may not know that they want to come in once or twice versus somebody who's a loyal customer of the competitor, you would obviously want to go after the loyal customer of the competitor because they have more overall lifetime value. And that's why you want to go after them first than anybody else, doing the new customer special and then having them prove if they are doing business with the competitor already, you'll let them have the 50% off. Which, of course, by the way, make sure that you also are not going to be offering the 50% off to people who say they're a competitor but not really, or not yet doing business with the competitor. Making them show the receipt is a perfect way to do things. Not only that, by the way, but if you know who they're dealing with now, you can actually tailor your offer to them. Make sure it's better, it's cheaper, whatever. So anyway, that's the first tier of the search campaigns that I would recommend you do right up front, and have a custom landing page with your new customer special offer on it. That's the way to go with what you're doing. Second of all, you're going to target people typing in med spa near me, med spas, Denver, that kind of thing. That's all super low hanging fruit. You're going to want to do as much as you can to get as many of those people as you can to come to you. And you do that by having the best ad and best landing page in your niche market. So Google wants to send all the traffic they can to you because you're helping their users the most in terms of user experience. And you set up single keyword ad group campaigns. So your click-through rates are over 10% and your conversion rates with the right landing page that you have are going to be over 25% without having to offer them anything else other than the information that they want, a clear and tight of package as possible. That is, they know that you do what they came for, to Google for, that you cover their area, and that they can trust you. How you lay out the information on your landing page will dictate whether you get 5% or 25% conversion rates from click to lead, if you will. Or when I say lead, I mean phone call or contact form fill. To the point where you should be able to get a lead for around $5 to $8 a lead if you do things correctly here all the way through. I've seen this before. Okay? Depends on also your level of competition. It could be certainly $20 a lead, depending on if you have a lot of spas in your immediate area. With that, I would recommend that you set up the targeting to be as close to your spa as possible. That is, I'm going to start with spending my money on 5 miles around my med spa, mainly because you're going to be the only person in your area. And then with that, you can say on your ad and on your landing page that you're really close to the user. Therefore, they're going to have super high response rates. You might even get a 30, 40, 50% rate of click to a lead, if you will. And then you're going to get the $5 to $10 lead cost that you can get with this campaign. Maybe that only gets you so far, but at least you can start there, and it's better to start there than to go super wide and then not have the ROI that you want because you went too wide. That's just the way that I operate, and because I always know I'm not going to run out of money before it's profitable. But with that, you're going to go to 10 miles out, then 15 miles out, and then just naturally see how far you can go before the lead cost is so high you can't afford to do it. Or the person who calls, you can't book them into an appointment at a very high rate because you're just too far away, and you start to get into that. So that's what I would recommend second. Third, I'm going to go after people looking for specific services. Every single service you have. If they're looking for that service, you damn well want to set up a unique ad and landing page combination just for them. So if they're looking for a vampire facial, you want to have an ad that says vampire facial and send them to a page that says right up at the top of the page, vampire facial. Why? Because your competition's probably not doing it, and this is exactly what the user wants from you. If you help the user out better than your competition, Google will help you out with lower cost per click, way less. You'll get a much higher percentage of the share of customers that way, and it'll have the highest ROI because Google wants to charge you less and send you a higher quality user, the better the job you do on your ad landing page and conversion rates on your landing page. Given that it's easy to do that better than your competition if you simply set up unique ads for every keyword and for every service that you have so that the ad and the landing page as closely as possible matches what they've searched for specifically. Yes, it's a lot of work to get that initially set up, but it's absolutely worth it because if you have the better ad and the better landing page than everybody in your market, you will make a lot of money for sure with this. And your cost per lead can be just as cheap there than what people typing in when people are typing in med spa near me, it'll be similar. Or even a little better. Now, finally, you want to go after these how-to terms. How to appear younger, how to get rid of wrinkles, and what you're going to do with this type of traffic to monetize it. And most people are going to say, this is a waste of time. Somebody who's looking for stuff like that, they're not ready to come into a med spa or do business with a med spa. And that is wrong. You just need to do more for the user up front in order to bridge that gap from where they're at now to where you want them to be, which is them knowing that a med spa is right for them and a specific service is right for them, and that's the answer they're looking for. We do this all the time in any kind of medical space. That is, somebody is searching for how to get rid of wrinkles, okay? You can have an ad that says, the solution to getting rid of wrinkles has come out in 2024. And then, XYZ magazine has just talked about it. Get the user's attention that way at the top of Google. They click the ad, they go to a landing page, which you've made to look like a magazine article or a newspaper article, if you will. And then that article talks about the vampire facial treatment, how it's revolutionizing, getting rid of wrinkles, what have you. And then by the end of the article, it explains how and where to get that type of treatment, specifically for people that are in that user city. So people that are getting this treatment that are in Denver, they go to this place. And that, of course, place is your place. And so you take that user from where they were to now you've got somebody who is now going to want a vampire facial that just would have never had one because they never understood the existence of it and that it will actually fix, get rid of wrinkles. And so there's a lot of people that want to get rid of wrinkles that you could sell to, but you have to educate them first. And that's the main way you do it. And so with that, you're going to target all the keywords that revolve around the services you provide. And if you want to know what all of these different use cases are that you can tap into, that people want, like bags underneath your eyes, age spots, acne, all that stuff. I've already done all this work for you for a different client, for a different med spa in a different market. Actually, 2 different ones to be exact. With that said, if you want all the winning ads, landing pages, campaign templates, all of it that already work to copy paste into your account, we literally can just sell you all those templates. So you don't have to build all this stuff out for yourself, do all the research and thereof, and do very, very well. Probably have more business coming in to your med spa than you even can handle short term, which would be generally the case. I can promise you that because you start doing this stuff, it will bring in massive amount of leads, I promise you. So you could do it all for yourself, build it all out for yourself. With the information I'm giving you here, you absolutely could. Or you could just buy the template from us, copy paste it into your account, and have the same results you're going to get otherwise. Actually better than what you're going to do on your own, because over the years of running the campaigns that we have in the med spa space, we've already ironed out all the inefficiencies, scaled up, and through the testing figured out the best, not just a good ad, but the best ad to run. And you're getting that from the very start, and have spent 6 figures worth of ad spend to figure out what's the best ad, what's the best landing page to use in this space. So if you're interested in that, you can reach out to me at guaranteedppc.com. We sell the template for a 4-figure fee. You have everything to just get the same results we're getting, of which we can tell you up front the kind of return that you're going to get, which I talked about the cost per lead already. ROI wise, if you're not at least at an 8-to-1 return, $8 in revenue for every dollar in ad spend, you did something totally wrong in terms of handling that lead once you've already generated. That is what I've seen in both of the individual instances where we've used this system for different med spas, and you should be able to get that as well. The other way that you could potentially solve this problem of getting leads, getting business, getting more business that you can handle right now, or get totally booked up, is to just hire our firm to set all this up for you physically. So in addition to the ads and all that, but we can also what we do for clients is guarantee your result. That is, we'll manage all the ads, we'll set up the tracking that you need, which is a part of everything, set up everything you need along with it, manage it for you, and then make sure you get so many leads/sales before we charge our management fee. And the management fee is offset by what you're going to make with the campaigns. So there really is no fee, and we're paying ourselves out of the results we're giving you. We are the only agency that offers any kind of guarantee like that, because we really know what we're doing. If you're interested in that kind of service, you can also reach out to me at guaranteedppc.com. With that said, okay, and we can obviously estimate for your local market based upon your city size, how much volume you can get roughly, and we would also tell you that in the free consultation that we would offer you when you initially reach out to us. That said, okay, that's the formula that's going to work for this. You're going to tackle all that search demand. You're going to set up the right ads, landing pages, use something called single keyword ad groups, where you have laser targeted ads for every keyword you're targeting and landing pages to go along with it. You're also going to set up the right tracking. You can do massively better all your competition by when you get somebody to your landing page, you track not only if they call or fill out the form or do a live chat or request or book an appointment or what have you, which by the way, you should be allowing and offering all of those communication methods on your landing page, because you're going to get the most leads that way. If you want to get a 50% conversion rate on your landing page, offer all that to get people engaged. But anyway, with that said, when a lead, you track all that, you post all that information back to your ad account so that the ads constantly be steered into what's getting you a cheaper cost per lead and what's getting you more leads, so that your account, once it's set up with all this foundation I talked about, it just gets more and more profitable and scales more and more over time. You set the system up to scale because the machine learning systems that Google has are going to see what works, what doesn't work, scale up what works more, and scale and taking away from what doesn't work as good. And it really becomes inevitable that you're going to do better over time, because that's just how it works when the data comes into your account the correct way. However, you will do way better even yet if you funnel in the sales data to your account. Because a lot of people, 70% of people by default, and I know because I looked at hundreds of accounts in the last 10 years, 70% of people won't even set up tracking of their phone calls, form fills, live chats to use that to steer their ads with. Or they'll try and it's not set up right, or it's duplicated. You got your goals that are double counting or whatever. And 30% will together enough to do that, which massively helps your results. Just that alone. Then about 5% of people or less are going to actually go all the way with it, which is they're tracking their sales and then taking the sales data and the revenue that they're making from the sales, put it back in their ad account and let that power their ads. And once you do that, you literally can be like, Google, get me every customer you can at 1,000% ROI or greater, and the system will just do it, and it'll do it, and it'll do it, and it'll do it. And there's no reason why you shouldn't do that. People don't do it because they either don't know it exists or they underestimate the value of it. I'm telling you here, you'll make 3 times as much money doing that, optimizing for profit, than you will optimizing for cheap phone calls or phone calls at a certain rate, because there are certain calls that are expensive but are grand slam prospects. And if you can't tell the system that you're willing to pay a little bit more for this prospect here, that's a grand slam prospect, and they'll spend tons of money with you, you're only going to get so far with your account. It's just how it is. So, because the cheapest leads are never going to be the best leads. And the cheapest prospects you get, or the customers you get, will never be the best customers. You got to have data that Google can rely on to get you the higher profitability you want. If you can't tell them what's driving profit for you, how are they going to get the profit for you? It's really pretty simple when you think about it. So you're going to set up your tracking with everything I said, and it's going to consistently get better. Hopefully you're doing it with sales tracking like I'm going to do with our firm, even though it's a little bit more trouble to initially set it up, which, by the way, if you want to know how to do that, it's called offline conversion tracking. You can search for offline conversion tracking on my channel homepage, watch our video about that, and that tells you on a basic level how it's done. I also have articles on my blog, on my site at guaranteedppc.com, where you can see offline conversion tracking done step by step, how it's done, and all of that, which, by the way, if you haven't seen my blog, you should absolutely read that anyway. It has step-by-step instructions to be able to make money today, the strategies we're using to guarantee results for our clients, and strategies that you can just copy and paste into your account with screenshots, with everything, let alone the channel that we have here that tells you the type of stuff that works to beat all your competition on Google search, Facebook ads. You should also subscribe to this channel, given that the information I'm sharing with you on this channel as well is coming from somebody who knows basically more than anybody else that you're going to find talking about ad strategy online. And that is because I've managed hundreds of campaigns and I understand inside and out the type of stuff that generally works and what doesn't work. And I give it to you all on this channel for free. So you should also subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. So with that said, getting back here to what I was mentioning, you can actually, once you've done all the search campaigns, you can tap into demand gen campaigns and target people who have recently searched for any of the things I mentioned up here and get a bunch more leads. With that said, because you are interrupting people, like I was mentioning at the start of this video, okay, you're going to want to give them an offer. If you interrupt people, it takes more to get them to respond initially to you than if they were already, raising their hand and saying, I want to do business. And with that said, it's most generally speaking, it's just going to be a discount. You're going to offer them 50% off or 80% off the first treatment or whatever, or buy one, get three, or whatever you want to do. For all practical purposes, what we were using is just a discount, okay? And specifically, if you're going to interrupt them like that, we're going to do an 80% discount, which may sound insane, but it's okay still, though, when you consider the lifetime value of a customer. Many people don't understand this concept or they don't want to. You need to be able to go into your customer database and divide total revenue from the last 5 years at your company versus total unique customers at your company in the last 5 years to get your average revenue per customer, and you understand what that is. And then from there, you can then really determine what you can offer to somebody to get them in the door for the first time, knowing, also of the people that come in, what percentage turn into a customer, and then do the math and really easily just figure out, is offering somebody 80% off their first treatment, is it worth it? Given the average person's going to come in 3.5 times and we're going to get full margins there, and then that'll offset the cost of getting the customer and the 80% off the first treatment. And that's really what it's about. He or she who can offer more to the prospect up front is going to get a higher percentage of the customers in that market, because the other competitors you're going against, they're not going to be willing to do it. Therefore, your offer is going to, and your business is going to seem the most attractive to them, and you're going to get the most of the customers by default. And you want an offer so good that your competitors are like, I don't know what they're doing and why they're offering that. That's what your reaction should be. We've done that at our own firm with our guaranteed PPC. I got other people saying they can see what we're doing. There's no way in hell they want to offer any kind of guaranteed PPC service like this, like what we're offering here. And that's beautiful. We know we went far enough with our offer because our competitors, even if they know about what we're doing and what our edge is, they still don't want to compete with. That's the level you want to get with your offer, and you offset it primarily by not only just understanding what a customer's worth, but actively spending time to make sure you're getting the most revenue from a customer. What can you do to sell them other things, or get them to prepay for the next 12 months and therefore get more revenue from a customer that you have coming in? And then with that increase in lifetime value of a customer you're now creating, you can actually spend more to get the customer in the first place, i.e. make a better offer to them, better discount, spend more on ad spend to get them, and so forth. He who can spend the most for a customer in your market is going to get the most customers, bottom line. So you should be working just as hard to get a customer, or should I say, you should be working just as hard to get more from each customer than you are getting a customer to begin with, given it gets so easy to get a customer once you can spend more than your competitors to get a customer to begin with. So anyway, you understand what it's going to take to get outside of search ads and people are already ready to do business with you or someone in your market. But to be frank, 10 times the customers are available to you when you know how to take somebody who's in market and get them in the door versus waiting for them to come through Google search and get them that way. You're only going to get a small piece of the market that way. And yes, you can make millions of dollars a year getting just that right, but it's going to take years of building it up, building the customer base up. If you want to get results now, learn how to set this other system up using demand gen campaigns, YouTube campaigns, which I would recommend second in line, and then also display campaigns showing up on websites where people are talking about or reviewing, the specific services that you offer. And run the same message there, which you're offering the 80% off first treatment, get them in the door that way specifically. And you have a unique landing page with the 80% offer there. They have to enter their email for a discount code, which is emailed to them. And then, of course, you got their information. You can call them, book the appointment, whatever. So that's the formula, if you will, right there. And like I said, you can make easily 10 times as much money if you just understand how to set up the offer and the landing page to get people who have recently searched for service you offer or a med spa in the area and just get in front of them wherever they go online. Demand gen campaigns get you on YouTube and Gmail. YouTube will get you in front of people that are on YouTube. And then, of course, display campaigns get you on millions of possible websites that any website you see that has banner ads on it, practically speaking, you can get in front of them using demand display campaigns, of which, by the way, you can start with just having ads show up on YouTube videos that talk about your services at hand. That's super profitable. Once you get that working, you can just show up on YouTube for people who have just searched for information about services you offer. And that's something you can also do that's not quite as profitable, but profitable enough, which you can do that, by the way, through something called custom intent audiences. So you can literally say to Google, anybody that's on YouTube, on Gmail, whatever, or on YouTube that has searched for, like a vampire facial or a med spa in the recent 30 days, I want to be able to get in front of those people. Then you hit them with that offer, that discount, then you got them. If they were searching for a vampire facial, of course you want the ad, you want everything segmented so that you can say 80% off a vampire facial, because that's what's really going to work. If you have a generic 50% off med spa services, not nearly as effective, you want to go ahead and put the extra work in to do that as well. And also, if they've searched for a competitor, you want to have your ad show up. The same message I talked about before that you would use on the Google search site. That is, prove to us that you already do business with the competitor, we'll give you 50% off your first treatment. If you want to get a little bit crazy with it, you could break it out by competitor and you could say, doing business with XYZ competitor, prove that to us and we'll give you 50% off your next treatment at our spa. Our spa is better because of XYZ anyway, blah, 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 blah. So you can target them while they're on the web, on Gmail, on YouTube, on other websites, and get a ton of leads that way. Probably, like I said, more than you can even handle. And if that is not enough for you already, you can do Facebook campaigns, getting into this next. So with Facebook, it's the same formula that would work with these other type of campaigns, demand gen, YouTube, display. You can offer a discounted treatment for 80% off to get them in the door, which what I would do there is I would split test the different services that you offer. Each market's going to be a little bit different in how it behaves, but you're going to offer 80% off a vampire facial, and you're going to have 50% off Botox, and then 50% off of PRP hair injections if you do that. And just to figure out which one pulls the best, what's going to provide the lowest cost per lead, which, by the way, you shouldn't treat all leads the same. Each service is going to have a different customer lifetime value. When I mentioned the 5-year thing where you go ahead and download total revenue from the last 5 years divided by total unique customers you've had to get a customer lifetime value, you should do that for each service. So you know what you can pay to get a customer and stay within the bounds of the level of profitability and ROI that you want. And anyway, with that, you can see if you can hit your target cost per conversion that you know you need up front because you crunched all those numbers. And with that, yes, you're offering 80% off what you're offering, but once you get them in the door, okay, you can set up your sales process in order to extract the right amount of revenue from the person in order to offset the discount you got to offer them up front and the ad spend it took to get them. Particularly, the best one that you're going to offer in this space is to do PrePay. So if they come in for a PRP hair injections, you're going to say, you come in for the next 6 treatments, we're going to give you X incentive. We're going to give you, it doesn't even have to be a discount. It can just be, we're going to give you VIP access. You're going to get a personalized coach that's going to work with you. Whatever, you find out your sweet spot, what works for you, which are real ones that we've used in the past. But anyway, with that, then all you got to do is get like 10% of the people that come in for the initial treatment, at least for the more expensive services like the PRP, to go in and prepay for the next 6 treatments, and you already are at a net positive ROI of 1,000% ROI or greater with it. So maybe you can't make it work with certain lower value services, but you should be able to, with the higher value services at the very least, as we found, and maybe for all the services, depending on how good of a job you are with your sales process later on down the line. Ultimately, what you need to do is once they're in for treatment and they have whatever crap on their face already, or with their clothes, they have a gown on or whatever it is, that's the time where you get them on the prepay because they can't so easily walk out. I thought that was a very clever scheme, if you will, that these other clients that we were working with do, and should replicate that for yourself as well. Naturally, it really is a sales process. You have to get it down, have a script, so you can, if you do things in your sales process different every time, you can't improve it. Just like with the ads, your ads can't get better over time if you don't give Google and Facebook to go along with it the right data back, because you can feed your sales data into there to make the leads that are being produce more ROI for you all the time. With that said, if your salesperson doesn't have a process, they can't split test certain aspects of it to make the closing rate on the prepay that you want for the next 6 months, year, whatever, to be at a higher closing rate on an ongoing basis. You've got to encourage not only the salesperson to document the process they're using, but document and tell you what it is they're doing to constantly push the closing rates higher in terms of what to test. So the sales process should be split tested just like your ads are split tested up front. You should test the ads, test the landing page, and test your sales process. But with that said, that is for a med spa or medical spa we're doing, and what I would recommend you to do as well. If you have any questions about anything I covered here, or have a particular unique use case where you'd like more information about something, you can easily leave me a comment down below. I get back to every single person who leaves me a question or comment on this channel, usually within 24 hours time. You can ask me any ad related question for that matter, and I'd be happy to try to help you out. I always like to try to help out my viewers for no cost, just as a way of giving back for helping the channel grow and so on and so forth, if you will. But with that said, I just want to say that amount of time and effort you put in on setting these structures up the way that I said, which are proven structures. This doesn't work, you could come back and grill me. I promise you're not going to say it doesn't work. But if you set it up, you spend the time to set it up right, it will pay dividends to you for the next probably 5-10 years. And even if it costs you 20, 30K to set this up with an outsourced agency who has to do everything for you, you're going to be able to make that back in profit every month once this thing is scaled up after the first 12 or 24 months of getting it really broken in, dialed in. It's worth it to do. And your competition is going to try to take all the shortcuts. They don't want to spend all the time to set this up and help their users and understand it. You spend the time to do it, you have your edge on your market, and it's a bigger edge than you're going to have over anybody else. Not to mention, if you get the lead flow right, you can raise your prices. You can raise your prices steadily and surely, and then reinvest that into a better experience and just turn your whole business into a profit-generating machine that you can count on day in and day out to produce whatever amount of leads that you want to produce. And when it produces more, you can work on figuring out how to charge more and just turn it into an even more profitable machine, given your ads are working better all the time, like I said it will, if you set it up with the right tracking and so forth. And then you just keep making more money because you're testing the sales process and walking up the prices on what you charge and making it a more and more exclusive service. He who has the best marketing and advertising usually can provide, in the end, the best service, because they can actually put themselves in position to not have to compete on price anymore either. So anyway, with that said, hopefully that you enjoyed the information and how I shared it here on today's video, and that I hope also that you are going to come back and subscribe to the channel, view the other content that I have, because I have a lot more to share on this particular channel that you can learn from, and that goes into detail on these individual components like I talked about, and so on and so forth. So with that said, I'll see you later, and I'll see you on the next one.